All right, how you guys doing?
What's up, YouTube?
It's 90 and my boy.
Amazing. And we're back on You versus Me.
So today's topic of discussion is the Matrix trilogy.
Right.
When the Matrix trilogy came out, the 3 movies, after the third one ended, there was a lot of people that came up with a conspiracy theory. For you guys that don't know that theory, it's that Neo wasn't the one.
Right. Which I agree.
A lot of people think that Neo wasn't the one. A lot of people think that Smith was the one.
Right.
I don't like that theory, but
we're gonna get into it.
That's what we're gonna do today. So, I'm gonna let my boy tell you guys why he thinks that Smith is the one.
I just think he's the one because when he died in part 3, I'm not gonna talk long. I just want to say when he died in part 3, everything looked right as rain in the movie, and Neo was gone, but the Oracle said he'll be back. And I was telling my boy that if he was the one, then why did he die? So we're gonna get into it.
One thing, and I hope you guys are paying attention to the end of the movie. It's kind of hard to tell,
right? Because
you can't really see his eyes,
right?
But Neo wasn't dead. If you pay attention to the ending, they show him seeing a flash of light.
Right.
Like Neo had the ability to see coding, like computer coding, outside of
I'm sure they get that, but I'm talking about the fight too. At the very end when they fought. Let's go to that.
If you guys remember in Matrix 2 and 1 too as well,
right.
when Smith tries to take over Neo blows him up.
Yeah, he says yeah.
So the same thing happens in the third one when Smith finally completely at the end of the fight when Smith finally takes over Neo completely. Smith is even surprised, like, wow, did I really just win?
Right, I give him that. Yeah.
Is that how? And then a few seconds later, he blows up again.
Right.
And then all the Smiths blow up.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few seconds later, you see his eye. You can't see his eyes, but you see him looking at light.
Right.
As you know, that's what Neo sees because his eyes were gone.
Right.
So, if you think about it, how is Smith the one if he dies?
Because when Neo lost, everything was okay. And that's why the Oracle at the end said, well, everybody thought Neo was dead. The Oracle said he'll be back. So otherwise he's dead. He's got to come back again. Because remember in part 2, they were arguing, I think it was the architect. The architect told him that he's, what did he say? He said something like, he's like the 6th or 7th version of himself. And he said he would get him back for revenge because he made him choose between the death of Morpheus or the death of Trinity. He said you're forced to make your choice.
Just
okay, even though he did that and he said he'll see him again, he never saw him, so he was right because he's the architect. But he did tell Neo he wasn't the one. I actually wanted him to be the one because it was such a great movie. I wanted him to be the one, but we were arguing. That's why it's called You versus Me. That I don't think that Neo was the one. I think it was Smith because when he killed him, everything was right as rain, and that's when the Oracle said he'll be back. Talking about Neo, but he died. But you don't think he did.
But see, the whole time we gotta remember, Smith wasn't a person. Smith was a virus.
Right.
He wasn't even a virus.
I don't think he was a virus.
He wasn't even a virus. He was a program.
But he was born into the Matrix.
But he was a program.
But you have to be born into the Matrix.
But so was Neo. Neo, when Neo was created as a human, he was connected to the Matrix.
But that doesn't count. Smith has always been in the Matrix. That's why Neo was not the one. He didn't even make that jump in part 1. And then what is the guy?
Which one?
Part 1 when he had to do the jump. You know, he did the fight.
Oh yeah.
Where the fighting sequence was dope and everything was great. But then they want to see if he can make the jump because no one's ever made the jump, and no one's ever did it. He didn't make it because he wasn't the one. I just like giving him. I like giving him hell about that.
No, but that's just because he was learning how to do it. Obviously, he didn't. He had no idea. He at that point when he had to do the jump, he had no idea about the one or anything. He was still learning how to walk, let alone jump over a building.
Yeah, but by the time they got to the jump program, he was already putting hands on everybody. He was already the one.
But even then, like I said, yeah, you're right. Smith was in the program,
Right.
But the one thing that I like that the Oracle says is there's always an opposite. So the opposite to the Oracle was the architect.
Right.
So so there had to be an opposite to the one.
Okay.
The opposite to the one would have been Smith. So Smith couldn't have been the one because he was the opposite to who would have been the one. So if Neo was the positive, Smith had to be the negative.
That's fine, but why can't it be vice versa? Why can't Neo have been the virus? Because, like I said, Smith was born into the Matrix.
But it wouldn't make sense with Smith being the one because of the fact that Smith wanted to destroy the humans. The whole time,
it happens.
The whole time,
when you have
Smith,
power, it happens.
The whole time, Smith's goal was to take over the program.
Right.
To actually get out of the program and take over all the machines.
Right.
That was his goal.
Right.
So, but the purpose of the one was to set everything straight.
Right.
And obviously if you realize at the end of the movie, when Neo finally wins the fight, even though he had help from the machines,
right,
the machines agreed to fall back.
Wait, which one are you talking about? Part 3?
The third one, yeah.
Okay.
At the end of the third one, when the machines are about to take over Zion, just as they're about to get into Zion, Neo wins the fight. So the main machine.
But that wasn't the end.
That was the end. Yeah.
Okay.
The main machine calls back all the robots.
Right. Okay.
And then everybody starts celebrating.
Okay. Right.
That Neo did it. Oh my
okay.
God, Neo won.
Okay.
You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Smith didn't want that. Smith would have killed everybody.
Right.
You get me? Like I said, the purpose of the one was to save humanity.
So what was the point of the Oracle saying there will be another one? Like he'll be back?
No, the Oracle didn't say that. The architect said that.
Was that no, at the end. At the very end when they like sat down and they were talking and it was like peaceful. And the Oracle said he'll be back because I think I forgot who was it that asked. Well, was it Trinity who asked will Neo be back or she asked?
No, the little girl.
Yeah, there you go.
The
little girl.
Because he wasn't dead. He wasn't dead.
Okay, so where is it?
So the thing about the thing that was so special about Neo was that like you said. There had been previous versions of the one, but everything had worked how the architect wanted it to work. The one did what the architect needed the one to do just to restart the program.
Right.
The thing that set Neo apart from all the previous ones was that he didn't do what the architect expected him to do. Why? Because he fell in love.
Yeah.
You guys know, women make men do all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Neo was in love with Trinity.
Right. But
so he chose Trinity. Hold on. He chose Trinity over. I mean, it sounds messed up, but he chose Trinity over humanity, or over humanity, over what the architect wanted.
Or whatever. Yeah.
He chose love over being the one.
Right.
You get me? And that kind of shows you he was the one. He was meant to be the one.
Right.
Because that's from the beginning. That's what if you remember, that's what Trinity said that the Oracle told her.
Yeah.
You will fall in love. That's that's the first one.
Okay,
that's a really big key part of the movie.
Right.
When Trinity says the Oracle told me, you will fall in love and he will be the one.
Right.
You get me?
And to me, I was arguing him with that you like 3 better than 2 and 1.
Yeah.
I told him I like 2. I like 1. I like all 3, but 2 and 1 are my favorites. But I'll probably go.
Don't worry about that, guys.
Don't worry about that. 1 and 2. I like all 3, but 1 and 2 are my favorites. But I would probably pick 2 over all of them.
But and then going back to what I was saying, Trinity confirms that Neo was the one. Because we know the Oracle.
She wanted. That's because
but that's not that. It has
I love you.
Obviously the Oracle could tell the future,
right?
And that's what the Oracle had predicted for Trinity. Right. Trinity was not in love with Smith.
Right.
No point in the movie.
Right.
You get me? She was in love with Neo.
Right.
She fell in love with Neo.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that set, like I was telling you guys, the thing that set Neo apart was that his humanity was stronger than the architect's plans. the reason why the architect's world had survived for so long was because all the previous ones had done what he thought they were gonna do.
Okay.
And that's where you can say Neo broke the code.
Okay.
Neo didn't do what the architect thought they were gonna do.
Right.
You get me? So that's where that's where I guess the conspiracy crashes, because Smith fits all the spaces.
Right.
Smith fills in all the blanks to what the one was supposed to do. But if we look at other universes, the main character never does what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, that's pretty much all.
In all movies, the main character always gets away with improvising.
Right.
And that's what Neo did. Morpheus was supposed to die in the first one.
Right.
Neo said, "Nah, I'm gonna go get Morpheus."
Right.
And he saves him.
Did the same thing with Trinity.
Same thing with Trinity in part 2.
Yeah.
You get me? So the thing is, like I said, Neo proved he was the one due to the fact that he didn't do what the architect wanted him to do.
Right.
Neo should have walked in through the door and restarted the program.
Right.
You get me?
Right. Yeah, I'm just laughing because you're right. That's funny.
Yeah, Neo
That's
should.
good. That's good.
The architect gave Neo 2 choices.
Right.
He gave him walk through that door, go save Trinity. Walk through that door, restart the program. The architect needed Neo to restart the program,
and he didn't. No.
If Neo would have restarted the program, the machines would have won.
Right.
Because that means the entire Earth would have restarted from the beginning. But he didn't. He chose his humanity, and he went and he saved his woman.
Right.
You get me?
I still don't think he's the one though.
How?
Just because
I've been talking for like 15 minutes.
I know. I just wanted to hear him talk.
Go.
I still don't think he was the one, just because, like I said, when he died, but you said he wasn't. I think everything was fine. That's just what I got. That's what my perception was of the movie. That after that big fight in the ring, that when he hit him in the chest, and he took him over and all that. In my opinion, what I saw, it just looked like everything was okay after he died. Even though Smith was like shocked he did it. Like, did we win? But my point is, what I saw, I just thought, and I didn't want Neo to die. I was actually rooting for Neo, but it was a dope fight. Excuse me. And I just think that after that fact, I thought he wasn't the one. That's all.
No, like I said. And we can look, like I told you guys a few minutes ago, we see this in all the movies.
Right.
The main character's plan never goes as planned. He always ends up improvising at the end. And that's what I think happened with Neo.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Keanu Reeves wants to do a part 4.
They were thinking about it. Yeah, they were thinking.
Right.
He wasn't. They wanted. I heard they wanted to do a reboot. I heard they wanted to do a reboot of The Matrix, and Keanu Reeves wanted to be a part of it. I don't know if he wants to be in it, but he wants to be a part of it.
Right.
Which would be awesome to see, because
I like the whole trilogy.
But the original trilogy, the original trilogy is good.
You think it should be left the way it is?
Yeah, honestly I think it should be left the way it is, and the new reboot is gonna be great. I'm gonna like it, but the original trilogy is clean. That's the original story. So we would have to see if they can match it, just because that's one of those movies that they actually did a really good job. Keanu Reeves killed it as Neo.
Right.
All the actors in that movie were really good.
Yeah, everybody's good.
You get me? And like I said, Neo has to be the one, just because I understand the conspiracy. This is one of those conspiracy theories that makes sense.
Which one?
This one.
The
fact that Smith is the one.
I think he is.
It makes sense to a certain extent.
Okay.
Because like I said, yeah, it makes sense, but at the same time, there's clues in the movie that point to Neo being the one.
All right. Well, I probably have to do my research and have to rewatch it now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna probably rewatch it too, just because it's a really good movie. But
okay.
Yeah.
Right,
like I said. This is one of those, and I really like this conspiracy theory because, like I said, it's one of those theories that if you look into it, it really does make sense, but it has its flaws.
Right.
Like all conspiracy theories, this one has its flaws, and it has its upsides.
Right.
But no, Neo was a badass in that movie. He's the one.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves, you killed it. Keanu Reeves, you killed it in Matrix. Good job.
Of course he did.
So this is you versus me, guys.
You versus me.
Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. If you guys have any subjects you guys want us to talk about or debate about, drop them in the comments. And this is your boy 90. We'll catch you guys later.
We're out.